atmosphere at that time, and also, for instance, the sharpness that you were looking for yesterday, the extreme sharpness.
Well,
was this
that's
something
because
new
that's,
for all
the
of
music.
you? Yeah, but was
you see,
this...
that's the way the music is. Da-dum, da-dum. It's not da-dum, da-dum. It's da-dum, da-dum.
But did this seem new at the time?
No, because, let's see, why didn't it seem new? Because the way he presented it to us and the way he demonstrated it to us, it was just so logical. It was so exciting, and I loved the score. I loved the Hindemith music, as did Balanchine. You know, we went up to New Haven, to Yale, when Hindemith conducted the Four Temperaments and heard the music before George started to, I was still with the Ballet, so he did Sanquinic for Mary Ellen Moylan.
Right.
And then I danced it always after that.
Yeah.
And what's interesting for me, like with Wendy, she has legs very much like Mary Ellen Moylan's, very much. So that when you see those beautiful lifts as she's swimming around, I see that same, yeah, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's just, that's what he choreographed it for. Well, interesting, you know, in Apollo, for instance, you have that same kind of jazzy movement, especially in the end. Dum, da 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 dum. You know, all of that. It's very much this. So it's, when he started to do the Four Temperaments, what was a very funny story. They finally decided they were going to have scenery and costumes. And Seligman designed the costumes, and it was just it was so funny that you know, I had ping pong balls on my head. Gisela Conchalanza did that wonderful third theme, that beautiful. He put her in a bonnet like this, so she couldn't, like a bird. She had no peripheral vision whatsoever. It was just like this. Mr. Balanchine, I can't dance in this. We got rid of the costumes.
But Tanny talked about how she had her hands encased in mittens. She
couldn't
hold onto a partner because she had these things on her hands.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
Now, what about the timing in Four Ts? I understand particularly the finale is very difficult to count.
Oh, well, I never counted.
Didn't count.
Never counted. You notice I've been counting a little bit here, but I never counted. I have perfect pitch, so I don't have to count. I hear the note and I know when I'm supposed to go.
Well, Four Ts in general, the atmosphere at the time. Did you have the feeling that you were in on something really special?
Well, I knew I was in on something special. They had danced it at the Needle Trades, and it was. I hadn't seen it because I was on tour with the Ballet de Monte Carlo still. And then when we came to the rehearsals and started rehearsing, it was very exciting because you could see right away this was a masterpiece. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And it was fun to dance. There's only one thing difficult about Four Temperaments, that's the cadenza. And that's fast, and she does that very well, very well. That's the only difficult part. Other than that, I think probably for the man is more difficult because he has these difficult sustained lifts. But I would think George did that ballet for special people. He really did. Todd Bullender in his role, you know, and Bill Dollar, you know, he didn't have a bone in his body, but to simulate that must be very difficult. Four Temperaments was something different. Is one of George's great masterpieces. It's not in the same classical vein as Nutcracker or Swan Lake or Scotch Symphony. It's completely different.
Sylvia reminds me, you speak often when you're working with Judy of the French style.
Well, this is the Paris Opera style. Balanchine admired the school of the Paris Opera Ballet. See, George was very Catholic in his tastes. He admired many things. And I think that he put in, rather than this, that Eglevsky was a great proponent of beautiful port-de-bras. He came with this beautiful port-de-bras that he had from Legat.
Legat guy.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very interesting thing because until then in class, George used to have us doing port-de-bras. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. A couple of years later, Andre had been there, and I think he because George never was static, never.
Yes.
I mean, until he died, he was still thinking of new ways to make it easier for us to understand, to make it more simple for us to understand. And I think he saw the Iglevsky, this way of movement, and so we did it. It's much easier if you do this than trying to do like this. It's easier for your partner if you're all of this and all of these arms, and you get a lyricism in it. You see, it's not static. And he really, I think, with Iglevsky, I think he probably had thought, that's... But everybody knows, like with me, the way I moved, with Tanny, the way she moved, with Diana Adams. You know, it's all different, and he brought out the best in each of us. And that's genius.